go ahead and get started today. Today's title of the class is Full Body Flow, so we're going to be doing a little bit more wrist, ankle, chest kind of focus. So switching it up a little bit from our typical lower body type of things. So our first couple of movements are going to be our wrist movements. For the first 2 minutes, you can kind of choose your seated position. If you want to sit kind of in this half saddle, cross applesauce, whatever works best for you. But to start, we will be doing a wrist flexion, kind of a stretch. Holding this just for a minute, starting with one side and then we'll switch to the other. Go ahead and switch sides. Same thing over the top of our hand, pushing down, keeping that elbow straight. Next, we'll come up onto our hands and knees. You'll have your fingers pointed straight forward, and then from here, just rocking back and forth, leaning up over the top of your wrists. Hold for a second, and then kind of release that pressure. Good. Now you're going to turn your hands so that your fingers are pointed both to the outside, and then from here, rocking side to side for another minute. Again, trying to shift your body weight up over the top of your wrist. Good. Next, we'll be moving to a little bit of ankles. So you're gonna stick your right leg kind of out to the side. It doesn't have to be all the way back, just not straight in front of you, but out to the side a bit. Keeping that left hip nice, tall, trying to stretch out that hip flexor a little bit at the same time. And then from here, you're gonna lean into that leg. Feel stretch here, good. If you don't feel stretch in your ankle, scoot your foot back a little bit. So then you're feeling stretch either on the back side of your Achilles area, kind of a little bit of a pinch in the front, and then pressure on, pressure off, or if it's comfortable for you, sit and kind of hold that position. Be here for 2 minutes. Good, go ahead and come up. Put that right leg down, left leg, other side, similar position. Feel free to test it out a little bit. I know I'm usually tighter one side versus the other. If I'm not quite feeling it in the ankle as much as I am my hip crease, scoot your foot towards yourself to lean forward. Feel that ankle stretch. To remind myself to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. We're moving to seated position. We're going to be doing a 90-90 hip opener. So both knees bent and kind of pointed the same direction. So you can either start with your right or your left side, up to you. Try to stack the foot of the direction we're going. So if, for example, my right leg is bent towards the right, try to stack that foot on top of the other knee so that we're getting two triangles essentially. And then from here, you're gonna try to sit up on top of your hips to feel that stretch in each rotation. So we're doing external in the pointing direction, internal rotation of the other hip simultaneously. Should feel it, the leg the direction we're going, so your left should be on the back side of the hip. If you're trying to sit like up over the top. So I'm trying to pull my body in this direction, like towards, so yeah, come towards the side a little bit. Yep. So you should be feeling it there, and then it's more of like a pinch in the front on the other leg. You probably have good hip mobility then, if you're not feeling it. Okay, yes, okay. I think I told you guys it's one thing I am not good at, rotating my hips, so I feel this everywhere. Go ahead and rotate, flipping those legs over to the other side. And again, trying to sit up over the top of my hips. So kind of between that V of the two triangles, that's the direction I'm leaning in order to get that stretch. You can go ahead and come out of that position. Next will be, I think we've done it before, that kind of wide leg frog pose. So going to a straddle but onto our knees with the distal part of my leg going straight back. So kind of looking like a frog. If you're comfortable with it, you can get down onto your elbows. Should be feeling a stretch on that inner thigh. We'll be here for 2 more minutes. So next we're gonna come up. We're gonna be going into a very similar position, but now focusing on one leg at a time. So you'll stick your right leg out, try to point your toes up to the ceiling, and then slide out till you feel a slight stretch, and then from there you can rock, nice and controlled, slow tempo, back and forth. Again, should be feeling it on the inner kind of thigh of the leg that's sticking out. Go ahead and come out of that slowly, leaning yourself forward, bringing that right leg in, and then sticking that left leg out now, switching sides. Another 3 minutes here. and slowly bringing those legs in. And be back to a seated position. I know we've done the single-legged pigeon before, where our knees out, bent in front of us, and we're leaning forward. Today we're going to be doing double pigeon, so both legs are bent. The side versus side is dependent on which leg is on top of the other, so if you're starting with that right side, I can't do it very well, but trying to put that right leg on top of your left leg to get that stretch throughout the hip. If you're like me and you're not super flexible, you can move your legs away from your body a little bit so they're still stacked on top of each other, trying to get that rotation stretch. Is underneath, left leg on top. Next, we will be transitioning to scorpion pose on our right side. So we'll start stomach, arms out in a T position. From here, using that left arm, push up over the top, rolling that leg up behind you, stretching across the chest. We'll be here for 1 minute. and switch sides. So your arms should be, if you lay on your stomach, so go ahead and lay on your stomach to start. And then if you put your arms out in a T, that left side's not going to move, but the right is what pushes you up over the top. I'm also just training you guys to be contortionists, so. Go ahead and roll out of that position. We'll transition back onto our back for a happy baby. So this is similar to a double knees to chest, except from here, we're gonna grab our feet so that we're opening up our hips as well as our low back. And we will be here for 2 minutes. Happy baby pose. We've got one last movement of today. Happy baby was a good kind of preparation pose for this. We're gonna be holding that deep squat that we did, I think, the first week. So you're welcome to do it against the wall if you'd like. So standing up on the wall, sliding down into that deep squat. So it's not a wall sit, but kind of just like hanging out in your joints. Or you can join me on the floor and we're just gonna hang out in this deep squat, trying to keep our chest tall. We'll be here for 3 minutes. Come out of that deep squat. I know I gotta stretch my legs out, let the blood get back into them. Nice job today, everyone. That was it. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of full body flow today. And just a reminder, we've got 2 weeks left of class for this session before we start the next session. But start to think about what classes we're doing at that time. So if you guys have any feedback, please let me know so that I can keep teaching this class. We want to see a different one this time. But yeah, appreciate y'all being here, and I'll see you next week.